Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm talking to you about my top 5 weekly comic reads. And we're going to start off by saying thank you to everyone who is subscribed. But if you're not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe. We're trying really hard to get that 250 subscribers. And I'd really appreciate it if you did. Like the video as well and comment down below what you read this week that you just absolutely loved and want to talk about. So we're starting off with my top 5. Number 5, Philadelphia, number 19. Now, Philadelphia has always been a really special place in my heart. I think Philadelphia is a unique story, a unique vampire story, and I just absolutely love vampires. Well, now we're really getting into like vampire, werewolf, witch, voodoo territory, and I just think that's so cool and interesting, all while blending in American history into it. So in this issue in particular, we get a very interesting character introduced, George Washington. And he definitely seems like he is not the great guy everyone was hoping he was going to be. He seems like he's ready to take over Philadelphia and possibly even murder Abigail Adams in the process of it. So he seems to really want to rule this place, and with the werewolves out of control, the vampires on the loose, Philadelphia has never been scarier. So the imagery on this book is fantastic, and the characters are so memorable. So highly recommend this book if you haven't gotten a chance to read it. In my number 4 spot of reads this week is going to be Strange Academy, number 17. Strange Academy has always been one of my favorites. It's written by Scotty Young, drawn by Humberto Ramos, but in particular, this storyline has gotten an increased amount of love from speculators and readers alike, and honestly, I think it's fantastic. I think it's been such a great job blending in the curiosity of children going to school, this magic school, but also blending in known characters that are teachers, and in this one in particular, you find out a lot more about what Dr. Voodoo is really going to do with this gas lamp character, and him and how he expelled Calvin, and how that repercussions affect the students. And it looks like the students are going to take it up with a protest of not going to school anymore because they expelled their friend Calvin. And in this issue, you saw one of my favorite characters, Doyle, really tend to some of his darker themes that has been hinted at. He is Dormammu's son. He could be the next, Antichrist type thing. So, he's really kind of embraced that. And honestly, that's not my Doyle. I don't want him to go so dark. So hopefully he reins back in and realizes who he really is. In my number 3 spot this week is going to be Carnage number 1. This is written by Ram B, and this was so cool and interesting. I've always been a really big Carnage fan, and this book in particular really caught my eye. This book tends to lean more towards the serial killer-esque side. It tends to be more murder mystery, and I really like that. I like the thought of being inside the serial killer, because we do have like Venom, which is another symbiote comic, and I don't want Carnage to just be another symbiote. He's darker, he's more violent, he is willing to just rip people into shreds, and the fact that he's now maybe teaming up with this serial killer, the artist, makes him a deadly threat. He's not necessarily taking over his body just yet, but he is helping him, and he's seeing the darker aspects of this artist. So really interested to see where Ram B goes with this comic. I thought it was a really fun and interesting ride. I can't wait to learn more. In my number 2 spot this week is going to be Something's Killing the Children number 21. Something's Killing the Children finally returned, and it returned with a bang. There was hardly any Erica Slaughter in this one, unfortunately, but you do start to learn about a new child and a new town and a new monster that has, corrupted this poor girl. So we're getting another like almost deja vu moment of like the first issue where you meet the kid, and then Erica comes at the end, and so it's very interesting to see these parallels and how they're going to play out. I don't think Erica might not get so attached to this kid as she did the last one, but we're not too sure. You know, maybe this kid has something special about her. Maybe she decides to make this kid a black mass, because Erica is technically the only black mass left. So, very interesting to see where this goes. I'm very, very looking forward to the next issue. There's supposed to be a couple more first appearances in that one, so really excited to see where that leads. And in my number one spot is going to be Batman the White Knight, Beyond the White Knight, number 1. This comic I've been waiting for a really long time. Batman White Knight is one of my favorite Batman titles. I think it is so unique. I think it's different. I think it focuses a lot on Batman's relationships, and to me, Batman's relationships are the most important part of a Batman comic. His relationship with Alfred, his relationship with the city, his relationship with Joker, they're all incredibly necessary, and they all tend to show his psychosis of Batman and why he is Batman, and this book does an excellent job of that. Now we're just expanding that lore. In this one, we're having Terry McGinnis, we're having Jason Todd, we're having all these characters you know and love, but kind of changed in a different way, in a different tonal. If you really like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, this is definitely up that alley. It is more realistic, it is more practical, it is more, you know, seen as a Batman in real life turn, and I really, really enjoyed this, and it was so fun having Batman Beyond finally in the White Knight universe. So that's going to be all my top 5 reads for this week. Be sure to check out all these comics and many more at your local comic book shop. Have a great day.